Was good, was good. All right, we're on page 310, chapter 18, 18.1, purpose of disability income insurance. Let's chop this up real quick, all right? Remember, first time you touch the content, you're just highlighting. No underlining and highlighting, no being obsessive. Why? Because we're going to go over everything. The first time you highlight it, the second time you touch it, you underline it. That means you've identified the information and reviewed the information, all right? Now let's go. We're going to jump over a lot of the information. What I mean by that is out of chapter 17, 18, and 19, we're going to get all the way up to basic medical expense, those 3 chapters. I think we have that reduced down to like less than 2,200 words. So we're going to make this quick. Why? Because I flashed for you guys. Woo! That's right. I'm the author of the insurance flashcards that you use for you. So anyway, line 1, disability income insurance is designed to provide. And then forget the rest of that sentence. Jump down to the middle of the next sentence. Income. At the end of that line, due to a disabling illness or accident. Now, let's go ahead, although it's a little relevant, right? Because we'll get into this later in the discussions. They're sitting there talking about statistics prove the probability of disability exceeds the probability of death, but we're not here to talk about that. The next line down, no, right there in the center, it says protection against the economic death of a wage earner. That's what you want from that first paragraph. So let me reflect that, throw that back out at you. Disability income insurance is designed to provide income due to a disabling illness or accident. It's protection against the economic death of a wage earner. In the next paragraph, you'll see there, disability income policies provide coverage for disabilities resulting from either accidents alone or from accidents and sickness. Then I want you to jump down, skip that next line, right there. Not feasible to issue sickness-only disability policies. So what does that mean? It means that you can get an accident-only policy, you can get an accident and sickness policy, but you cannot get a sickness-only policy. Now jump down to that third paragraph right there. At the end of that first line, available as individual plans and group plans. That's all we need out of the beginning there from purpose of disability income insurance. Now just slide on down to 18.2 where we have disability income benefits, right? Highlight that. Of course, this is important, right? Now, under this first paragraph right here, let's highlight this right there, first line. Benefits paid, and then skip down to the end of the line, in the form of monthly income payments. All right? Now let's skip a line down, next fourth line down, right there, dead center, benefit limits. And then skip another line, next line down, dead center, defined in terms of the insured's earnings. Underneath that, benefit ceiling, less than regular income. Why? Why is the benefit ceiling? Let's just recap that whole first paragraph there, right? Benefits paid in the form of monthly income payments. Benefit limits defined in terms of the insured's earnings. Benefit ceiling, meaning the maximum amount, is less than the regular income. Why? Because, next line down, without such restrictions, skip a line down towards the end, little incentive to return to work. The word for that is malingering. You see this? What does it say? When your work is literally killing you, but you have to smile and nod anyway, right? So in other words, what they're saying here is that your job probably sucks, and if you were disabled due to an accident or a sickness, and you were covered, there is no way you are going to get paid the same amount of money to sit home than you are to go to work, right? If they did pay you the same amount of money, you'd have no incentive to go to work. I'd rather sit here bored and maybe play Retro Bowl than go ahead and be kicking, recordings and flashing all of this insurance content to you. You know what I'm saying? All right, so in that sidebar right there, if you want, just write malingering in there, no incentive to return to work. Now, in that second paragraph down, what I want you to do is start highlighting 2 methods to determine the amount of benefits payable. Next line down towards the end. First method determines benefits using percentage of the insured's pre-disability earnings. And I actually have that and circled there. Takes into account other sources of disability income. This, I'm just outlining the content for you. I'm not going to dive in and explain it, right? But what I am going to tell you is that with this first method, the percentage of earnings, it means that if the policy said you were only entitled to 80% of your earnings in the event of you being disabled, and you have some other policy that paid you, $500, right? If you were disabled, $500 a month. Well, your policy, I just said 80%. So let's just say you were making $2,000 a month, 80%, $1,600 a month. That identifies the maximum you were allowed to collect while you were disabled under a group employer plan. Okay? So, what would they do with that $500? It means that your policy, your disability income policy, if it was off of a percentage of earnings, would only pay you, what did we say it was, $1,600? Would only pay you $1,100 because your other policy gave you that $500. It takes into account other money that you're getting because it cannot exceed the amount that was agreed upon in the original policy, all right? And now let's go down to the third paragraph because all I did was just reflect that example. I didn't even read that. Anyway, I'm talking to my millennial over here. In case you don't know him, that's David. Digital, audio, video, I deliver to you. It's an acronym. He's not really a real person. We just call him David. All right, so in the third paragraph, second method, highlight that. Jump to the end of that sentence, flat amount. Second line down towards the middle, policy specifies specific flat income benefit amount. Flip that page, continues on to the top of 311. First sentence, payable regardless of any other income received. Okay? Last little line right there. Percentage of earnings typically used in group. Right? Malingering. Group policy. They are your boss. They are your employer. They are literally killing you, but you have to smile and nod anyway, right? Would you ever put that type of restriction on yourself? No, that's why you should be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs use the flat amount method, right? More common in individual plans. So on that last part, percentage of earnings typically used in group. Flat amount method, common in individual plans. So let's go ahead and touch one more section here. And that is occupational versus non-occupational coverage, right? So in that first line right there, just highlight occupations, extremely hazardous. Next line down, non-occupational policy. Only covers injuries that occur off the job. Next paragraph down, disability benefits for both job-related and non-job-related injuries. Those are occupational policies. Why? Because they cover you at work too. Doesn't matter. The non-occupational, what you got to think about is like a pilot. Just so you know, anything that flies is never covered. If you work in the aviation industry, forget about it. You might as well be dealing with nuclear waste, which is crazy because, you don't hear about planes falling out of the sky every day. Although it looks like we were hit with a cyber attack, but you didn't hear from me when the FAA went down. Zip. Let's see here. All right, and for the occupational, that's for like somebody like me, right? I'm sitting here in my dojo. I give it an aggressive name, right? Because we go at it here and we go over our content. But realistically, if I got hurt in my dojo, in my office, at home, it's probably me. I'm the problem, right? But if a fireman or a police officer or an underground welder with literally oxygen attached to their back while they're trying to, fix the hull of a boat. Those people have crazy, ridiculous jobs. They would need a non-occupational policy. That way, if they want to go ahead and race BMX bikes or, skateboard or, do whatever they want, they're covered. They're just not covered at work. 10 minutes, 31 seconds.
Okay.
All right, let's